Hello everyone, I'm welcome to GoldenNova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as I'm the first person you come to react to things first, with guest star Moby once again, because he's always got to be here when I'm talking to the screen. He gets very jealous. Sorry for the lack of updates, folks. It turns out when you get a head cold, it kind of takes you out from being able to do anything. I wanted to have a different video up by now before I head up to YCS Richmond. Make sure to catch me this weekend. We're going to be playing a lot of Advanced and a lot more Domain. But I had to take a chance at getting my strained voice out of bed to do this. They revealed the new Maze of Muertos Pumpking cards while I was at work, once again choosing the worst time for them to put out cards. I had to wait all day not reading the amazing treasure trove of cards that will surely exist now that we have Yu-Gi-Oh's most perfect orb in rotation. Eat your heart out, Raw. It's Pumpking time. Let's take a look at Pumpking, the King of Grave Ghosts, a level 6 Dark Zombie effect monster with a 1950 attack and 2600 defense. You can reveal this card in your hand to set a Call of the Haunted from your deck or graveyard, and if you do, discard a card. Well, that's good because you can discard a monster. That set card can be activated this turn, so it's immediate. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon a level 6 zombie monster from your deck, except one with a 1950 attack. Also, you can't special summon from the hand or graveyard for the rest of the turn except zombie monsters. So not from the extra deck. Notably, you can still do that. Okay. There's some good level 6 dark zombies out there, I'm sure. We have them coming up right now, actually. Army of the Haunted. Level 6 dark zombie effect monster, 2400 attack, 0 defense, the proper amount of defense for any zombie monster. If you control Call of the Haunted and this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card. So it doesn't even have to be the target you summon off of Call of the Haunted. Though, I mean, you bring it out with our new Pumpking and then it gets Call of the Haunted in rotation. Interesting stuff. But you can bring this out while Call of the Haunted is in your hand or graveyard. This does not have a if this card leaves the field, banish it text, right? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Call of the Haunted in your graveyard and set it. That's funky, right? Like I won't say crazy, but it's a level 6 monster you can keep bringing out onto the field with no applied restrictions as long as you have Call of the Haunted in rotation. That's okay. I'm digging this. Just as like a free guy, as free Xyz materials, free synchro material, seems pretty rad. I would move the page, but Moby has pinned my arm. Let me see if I can grab the mouse over here, because I can't get my hand out from under him. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Okay, Stare of the Snake Hair. So we are taking Snake Hair and making that a level 6 monster as well. 1500 attack, 1200 defense. You can discard this card to add a Call of the Haunted or a spell or trap card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can target an attack position monster your opponent controls. That face-up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it can't be used as material for a fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link summon. For how long? Forever? That face-up monster can't attack. Yeah, it's just completely gone. Okay, so we summon this off of Pumpking. This hits the board. That monster is turned to stone. It's petrified. They're never using it for anything ever. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's check out Great Mammoth of the Netherworld. A Mammoth of Goldfine is up in here, folks. But what does it do? 2200 attack, 1800 defense if this card is special summoned, and you control Call of the Haunted or a zombie monster, except a copy of this card. So if you summon it off of New Pumpking, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Oh, okay, cool. So just remove. It's good to have just spot removal. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. A zombie Xyz monster that has this card as material gains this effect. It gains 1000 attack, so it just gets bigger. Only zombie Xyz. So looking for level 6 zombies that don't have 1950 attack. And rank 6 zombie monsters. Alright. Well, it looks like we're going to have one right here. We don't have to go digging around for it. We'll have it right now in Pumpking the Great Ghost King, a rank 6 dark zombie Xyz monster. 2400 attack, 2600 defense, 2 level 6 zombie monsters. While you control Call of the Haunted, your opponent cannot target zombie monsters you control with monster effects. Yeah, just don't even think about it. If this card is special summoned, like by the effect of Call of the Haunted, You can add a Call of the Haunted or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. You can attach a material from this card, then target up to 2 cards on the field and return them to the hand. So it's also pretty solid removal. Doesn't destroy, but it's yeah, on the field. So notably, you can use Call of the Haunted to bounce a monster, and then bounce both the Call of the Haunted and what you brought out with it, so you get to keep both of them. So it's not just a removal tool, it's a way to make permanent the monster you bring back with Pumpking. That's... I can roll with that. And the Undying Legion. Oh, wait, that's sick. Okay, so it's Flame Swordsman, Tiger Axe. I think, like, there's another... It kind of looks like it's behind Red Eyes here, who's taken front of the center. I think that may be Garuzi's. I'm probably seeing stuff on this one. But that's pretty cool. Though notably, this Red Eyes here does not look a thing like the famous Red Eyes Zombie Dragon. It doesn't have the same kind of build to it. The blue flames are gone. So we have 2 distinct zombie Red Eyes Black Dragons. The Undying Legion is a rank 7 Dark Zombie monster that takes any 2 level 7 monsters as material, but notably you can also exceed summon this card by using a rank 6 zombie monster. So if you were to bring back our rank 6 Pumpkin, we can turn into a rank 7, and that leaves Call of the Haunted on the board. Exceeds was actually kind of the perfect thing to pair with this because of how Exceed summoning interacts with cards like Call of the Haunted. For those of you who do not know, Call of the Haunted only destroys itself if the monster that it is equipped to is destroyed. Or should I say, if it leaves the field. But when you use a card as Exceed material, it does not leave the field, it just changes into something else. No longer something that Call of the Haunted is connected to, though, so it just kind of sticks around. It no longer has a triggering condition on which to destroy itself. So Exceed summoning was kind of a fun play here. But what does it actually do here? During your opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, or just one if all this card's monsters are Exceed material. Oh, that's kind of cute. So if you did have to like rank up a no material Exceed monster, but not no material, that's a different card. A no material Exceed monster, you can still activate this effect. Then target one attack position monster your opponent controls, or one monster in their graveyard, and attach it to this card. Huh. So it's removal in a similar vein to Cyber Nova Dragon? No. Cyber Dragon Infinity. Okay. I dig it. I don't think there's anything much else to say about it. It's just a rank 7 you can turn your rank 6s into. That steals monsters, and it turns them into Exceed material. So that's pretty cool. Pretty chill option. Call of the Forgotten, field spell card. When this card is activated, you can set up to 3 Call of the Haunted from your deck and or graveyard. And if you do... Sorry. that took me out there. 3 of them things. When this card is activated, you can set up to 3 Call of the Haunted from your deck and or graveyard, and if you do, until the end of your opponent's turn, you cannot special summon except zombie monsters or monsters from the graveyard. No monsters or monsters. So it can be any monster from your graveyard, but if it's anywhere else, it has to be zombie monsters. Once per turn, if you activate Call of the Haunted, you can target one monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. So it's... Wait, hold up. Hold the phone. It gets you 3 monster revives that you can bring back from your graveyard, so even if they've been used already, the field spell gets them back in rotation. And if you can either bring them back the second they're able to be activated, because this does not have a quick activate clause like our new Pumpking does, but once they're online, you can either bring a whole bunch of monsters back all at once, or if you slow roll it, it's just removal. That's send too. It doesn't even destroy. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay, Ectoplasmic Fortification. That one I remember from the show. That's the effect that Pumpkin uses to boost the attack of all the zombies every turn. It's a normal spell card here, and it has one of two effects you can activate. The first one, if you control no monsters, add a level 6 zombie monster or Call of the Forgotten from your deck to your hand. Or, zombie monsters you control gain 400 attack, then you can draw cards equal to the number of Call of the Haunted that you control. I wouldn't call it a casual draw 3 spell, but it could happen. I don't know about this one, to be honest. Obviously, this does combo very nicely with the fact that the field spell potentially gets you 3 Call of the Haunted. I think the main draw here is just going to be the first effect. And, like, I guess I shouldn't be too hard on it, because there's not a wrong time to play this. Either you have no monsters, and this is a consistency piece, or you have an established board, in which case this gets you more gas. Well, okay, it's not an established board specifically with Call of the Haunted, but that's the whole idea of the deck. If you're not doing that, then you're already losing anyway. I don't think well, I guess a utility spell might get you into it, so, I don't know. Maybe this is a one-of? No, but then it has the consistency thing. Oh, I don't know, because it's like, it's a searcher, but it's a hard once per turn. This is gonna need some testing, I definitely think. Okay, so Vortex of Time. Quick play spell card. If your opponent activates a normal or quick play spell card or effect or a monster effect, while you control a zombie monster and Call of the Haunted, gotta have both of those, except during the damage step, your opponent tosses a coin and their activated effect becomes the following. So we're always changing it. If they get heads, your opponent must banish one monster they control. And if it's tails, you must banish all monsters. Oh, okay. Okay. So either if they flip correctly, you lose one of your monsters. They get banished. If it goes bad for them, they lose all their monsters. So in kind of the same way that Time Wizard's random effect is worse for you than for your opponent, this one is also worse for you and worse for your opponent, but you've subtly switched you've switched control of this. That's so funny, and it's always stopping the original effect. So sometimes it's, I negate your effect, it even bypasses negating stuff, because this is a negate, that's wild. But either it bypasses their effect and what you give up is a monster and a spell card, or you negate their card and then you board wipe them. That's so funny. These cards are so funny. Okay, Deadly Zombie Breath, continuous. Whoa. Normal trap card. If you control a zombie monster and a Call of the Haunted, target one monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. If you control a zombie monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a face-up card you control and a face-up card your opponent controls, and send them to the graveyard. You only use one effect of this card per turn, and only once per turn. I like it. I think it's good. I think this is just generally a good card. It's a great card to discard off things, because then you can immediately use the Grave effect as long as you control a zombie monster, and don't need to have the additional Call of the Haunted setup. If you do a hard draw and you're on your game plan, this becomes removal, just straight up removal, because it doesn't trade off. It just uses the Deadly Zombie Breath to out a monster by sending, not destroying. So yeah, that's just a solid card. Solid, good zombie removal card. I dig it. This is pretty good. So, I'm excited. These are, I can't think that any of these were, hold on, we're gonna do a little, stop really quickly. I don't think any of these were necessarily bad. All of them seem to have a piece of utility that's pretty good. Army of the Haunted scares me. And the new Pumpking is nice, is decent. I don't think any of these cards are going to bust the game open, but these are some great zombie support cards. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the brewing is. I'm going to skip looking for all the level 6 and rank 6 options. I'm going to leave that up to you. A, because I should probably be resting my voice a little bit more before the weekend happens. And B, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about all the other cards that I missed while I was out doing a little sick. Let's check out the Chibis that were released. This will be a pretty quick one. I haven't looked at them just yet. They had to do the new Pumpking, of course they did. Is old Pumpking worth playing? Absolutely not, right? You have to play Castle of Dark Illusion. Gross, no. Des Koala, completely missing here. Cute, 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 cute. Arching Heiress, we dig. Okay, those are fine. Okay, anime cards. Let's look at some anime cards. Orichalco's Sword of Sealing. Equip spell card. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The equipped monster's effects are negated. Cool. If you have a card in your field zone, you can target one effect monster that you control. That effect monster gains this effect until the end of your opponent's turn, which is once per turn as a quick effect. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target a face-up card on the field and destroy that target. Okay, so you can equip it to an opponent's monster and negate it, just like negate it, so it's just like, boom, your monster doesn't work anymore. And then if you have a field spell, you can give an effect monster removal. You can just have the monster destroy... Oh no, it sends a card from your hand to the graveyard. But then it just destroys a card on the field. Okay. I guess also notably, it can negate a effect, a detrimental effect on one of your monsters, so that's kind of cool. That's fine. This is a cool effect. I like it. Rainbow's Bridge Bifrost. Okay, this is the one that I have had to avoid all day today because people have been posting about this thing. What's going on here? You can activate one card with this card's name per turn. Banish 3 level 10 or higher monsters from your extra deck, including a light synchro monster, to add a field spell from your deck to your hand. Okay, so I kind of see what they're talking about here, right? Konami's gone to lengths to make sure that cards like Terraforming are, you know, limited, or you can't access them in certain formats. I think I'm talking about my ass here. I know that they, I know Terraforming is at least limited. It's not banned, right? Good lord, I'm losing my mind here. Point of order, though. Field spells are powerful. They had to limit things that search field spells because of how gosh darn powerful they always end up being. So now you have an unlimited number of, or an unlimited amount, so 3, if you're willing to build your extra deck in a particular way. Hopefully there are some that have really good effects on Banish. Okay. Yeah, I suppose it's just interesting if you're a deck that has the free slots for it and needs a field spell that badly. We'll see where that goes. Or Malefic Force. Okay. I saw Sin Force and I'm like, ooh, spicy time. It's a normal trap card. Target a face-up monster on the field and equip this card to it as an equip card with this effect, or with these effects. First, the equipped monster is unaffected by spell effects, so don't even touch them. And second, once per turn, you can destroy this card. And if you do, add a Malefic card from your deck to your hand. Second, if there's a card in the field zone, you can banish this card and one other Malefic card from your graveyard to destroy all monsters on the field. Oh, that's good. Just blast them. Yeah, so this is just wild, right? You flip this in response to spell removal to get rid of your big bungler. Keep them safe. And then you can pop the Sin Force to get a Malefic card. And then once it's in the graveyard, it's a field wipe. That's nutty. Okay, good for them. I mean, if this was attached to a good archetype, this would mean something, but it's Malefics. So at least it's good for them to have a fun thing. Okay, quick cut back in, had to take care of something. Malefic Paradigm Shift is a normal trap card. You'll activate one card with our card's name per turn, and you can activate this card from your hand by paying half your life points. Ooh, the red reboot dilemma. That's it. Dilemma was taking up the same space in my brain as Paradigm, and I really should not show that I'm that dumb. I can be a little less dumb than that. So you can add to your hand or place in your field face up a Malefic World from your deck or graveyard, then special summon a Malefic monster from your deck or extra deck in defense position, ignoring its summoning conditions. Then if your opponent controls a monster with 2500 or more attack, all face-up monsters they currently control lose 2500 attack until the end of this turn. That's... Huh? Ooh, so I don't know all the Malefic monsters' anything. But are you telling me that turn 0, you can just fling this out of your hand when your opponent's field gets, like, unruly and be all like, your monster is not going to be that big. I'm going to put out Malefic World, bring out my big synchro dumbass dragon. The synchro isn't even the best one, right? It's the main deck with 5,000 attack. Either or, you fling that out, turn your opponent's field into mush. Okay, I'm with it. I certainly hope that the life point loss adds to something going on here. It's not just a arbitrary pay a whole bunch to use it kind of thing. But it's good that it's that easy to do. That's kind of goofy. Assault Blackwing Kusanagi the Gathering Storm, a level 9 Dark Winged Beast Synchro monster with 3,000 attack, 1,000 defense, requiring generic material. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster as material, it's treated as a tuner while face up on the field. Classic Assault Blackwing stuff. After this card is synchro summoned for the rest of the turn, it gains attack equal to the total original attack of the synchro monsters used as its material. So none of that regular fancy schmancy main deck monster material. We are doing Delta Excel synchro summoning. And 3 can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each and deals piercing battle damage. Oh, okay, so it just kills people. It just kills people. Yeah, only for the turn that it's synchro summoned. It's not a permanent gain. But even if the monster that you use as material has like 1,000 attack, we're talking about a 4,000 multi-attacker that pierces. So, pretty decent. Oh, I think it's also worthwhile to note that the only effect in here that requires Blackwing monsters is the one that turns it into a tuner. You know, the least useful of all the effects. If you are a deck that loves to synchro climb, I think you just found your new favorite top end for your synchro ladder. That's so funny. Wow. Okay. Bird up, folks, but not in the way it's normally used. Let's check out this another one that I had to keep. This is another one that I had to bite my hold off on because Scorn sent this to me when these were released, and I couldn't look at them, even though they looked rad as hell. Folks, Blackwing Dragon already has an assault mode. No, it doesn't. It has a new version. It doesn't have an assault mode yet, does it? But now Black Rose Dragon does. Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode is a level 9 Fire Dragon monster with 2,900 attack and 2,300 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set, and must be special summoned with Assault Mode activate. Your usual Assault Mode monster nonsense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First, you can reveal this card in your hand and shuffle it into the deck. And if you do, change the attack of one face-up monster on the field to 0. So, much like our good friend Crimson Blader Assault Mode, we have an in-hand effect. I think they didn't do that for the Junk Warrior one, which was weird. So I'm glad we're back in it. Though, this time it's not a search. It's a pure -1, but zeroing out a monster permanently is pretty slick. Second effect, if this card is special summoned, or any number of monsters are special summoned to your opponent's field, you can destroy all cards on the field. Oh, good. And 3, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Black Rose Dragon from your graveyard. Okay, so so this interacts with Black Rose Dragon in a weird way. So, which is what I was hoping for, because obviously a cool interaction is synchro summon Black Rose Dragon, put the effect on the chain. I gotta stop being mad at the Gathering build. Put it on the chain Assault Mode activate to that, swap out for Black Rose Dragon. And what this does in that scenario is bring back Black Rose Dragon, because it'll be blasted by the original's effect. Alternatively, you don't activate Black Rose Dragon's effect, and then you use Assault Mode activate to turn it into its Assault Mode. This destroys all cards on the field, not all monsters like Black Rose. No, Black Rose Dragon destroys all cards on the field. So this is another way in which you get to keep Black Rose Dragon, because this blasts itself. So the Assault Mode version effectively says, hey, keep your Black Rose Dragon. Alternatively, you keep it around to punish your opponent for special summoning, which I guess is a thing you can do. Turn 1 Black Rose Dragon is a little better, but I would rather just use a quick synchro summoning effect. This is okay. I think it's fine. Predaplant Dead Evil. Whoa, oh my god. Look at that Spawn looking guy. Oh my gosh, I want his number. Level 6 Dark Plant, 2200 attack, 1500 defense, requires a Predaplant and any one level 1 monster. Must either be... Oh, because of the Predator counters. Duh. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by attributing 1 monster on either field with a Predator counter and a Predaplant monster. So it's a contact fusion. And a really good one, because as long as you can land a Predator counter, you get to inherently scoop up an opponent's monster. What does it do? During the main phase, if this card is special summoned this turn as a quick effect, you can target spell or trap cards on the field up to the number of monsters with Predator counters and destroy them. So it's not on summon, but it is a quick effect, so I think that's good. Because it has to check the number of monsters with Predator counters on them, so you'll want to, if summoning it consumed all the Predator counters on the field, you'll want to establish more of them as it goes back for removal. I don't dislike this, especially because I think some of the more powerful monsters in Predaplants requires a fusion monster to kind of play off of, and we already had the search, the one that searches stuff. So this is not a bad additional inclusion. It gives a lot of utility to any Predaplants that just randomly put Predator counters on things. This is solid. This is a really solid inclusion. Okay. Next up we have Possessed Resonance Win. When I saw images of this, I mistook that blue for a spell card, and the name for a spell card. I don't know how I missed the stars. Level 5 Wind Spellcaster Fusion Effect monster, 1850 attack, 1500 defense. It wouldn't be a Charmer monster or a familiar possessed monster if it didn't have it. It has 2 mutually exclusive effects. You can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn and only once that turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can place a wind monster from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck, then target one monster your opponent controls and take control of it. Oh, it does not have to be a wind monster. During your opponent's turn, you can target 2 cards on the field, including a wind monster, and place them on the bottom of the deck in any order. But one of those monsters has to be a wind monster that you control. Oh, that seems really, really good. Because presumably, if you fusion summon for this normally, you'll have a wind monster in graveyard because you used a wind monster as material. Because level 5, you can also, of course, instant fusion this if that's available to you. You also want to make sure you have a wind in graveyard for that. Wow, no, this is just good. Any spellcaster that randomly has wind monsters, plug in Possessed Resonance Win. This is Snatch Steal for wild stuff. And then it's just removal. Either get rid of itself or one of the other wind monsters. That's wild. Okay. Masquerena and Little Knight are showing up once again. They had a brief stint of being Master Duel only until they were revealed as being new cards in the Limit Over collection of the heroes as WP Fancy Ball. A Link 3 Dark Cybersling monster, 2400 attack, has the top, bottom left, bottom right arrows, requires 2 or more effect monsters as material. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or in the graveyard as a quick effect, you can banish this card that was special summoned this turn until the end phase to negate that effect, and if you do, banish it. Ooh, okay. But only when it was summoned this turn. So, you'd have to use Masquerena's quick sync effect, quick link effect, to get this into play on a turn that you anticipate your opponent using a monster effect. Or not anticipate, but be all like, hey, the one thing that would beat me up here is this monster effect. I will make this turn to make sure that doesn't happen to me. Second, during your opponent's main phase, you can, quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, link summon a link monster, and if this card you control would be used as material for that link summon, you can also use a link 2 or lower monster your opponent controls. Neither player can activate the effects of link monsters in response to this effect's activation. Now granted, we don't live in Vrain's era anymore. It's not a given that everyone and their mom is going to have a link 2 or lower monster lying around. And you don't have to use that part of the card. You can just link regularly with the option of stealing an opponent's link 2 or lower monster if it's available. But it is a fun little additional thing to have online, especially if you are playing against a deck that has a lot of utility and low restrictions, giving it a lot of choices out of the extra deck, because generally in those environments, I believe that link monsters are going to be the go-to option for toolboxing, and this is right there to punish that behavior. Sick new card arts here. Masquerena, looking cool, but can we talk about the tech deck? Can we talk about the sick tech deck here? Oh, rules. Absolutely rules. I love these two. They're great. Okay, some world premieres. We've already talked about GMX. Ooh, I don't like that ad. We already talked about Mechanical Mechanic as a great way to boost FAs. It involves destroying field spells. It adds wind machines with 0 attack. So we're going to skip that and go to Jade Dragon Mech, another in the line of synchro monsters of various attributes that do things when they get blown up. This is a level 9 wind machine synchro monster, 2700 attack, 1800 defense, requires generic material. If this card is special summoned, you can send a machine tuner monster from your deck to the graveyard, or if you control a monster whose current level is different from its original level, you can special summon it instead. Okay. If this synchro summoned card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can manage any number of tuners from your graveyard, then target that many cards on the field and destroy them. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you get a machine tuner into rotation, and if you are doing weird level modulation stuff, you get to keep the monster on board first. It gets a little pit stop before going to the graveyard, and then it goes blasted and annihilates a bunch of stuff. Okay, that's a fun little tech card. Mischief of the Wolves, another in the Mischief line of cards. We've seen of the Gnomes and of the Yokai, I believe are the two. What's this one do? Apply these effects in sequence. Reduce the level of all monsters your opponent controls by 2, and increase the level of all monsters you control by 2. During your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, add this card to your hand. Oh. So it's a quick play spell, so you can mess with levels at any time, but if you do it in a non-tricky time, if you play it like a normal spell card, you can destroy one of your cards to get this back into your hand. So it's a destruction enabler whose activated effect outside of specific circumstances doesn't mean anything. This is also, of course, just FA support too. I can't believe I'm just not getting into my thick skull that all FA monsters change their levels all the time, so of course you're going to get that machine tuner. And popping a card you control is your field spells. You get plus 2 levels on all your stuff. That's an additional boost to their stats. Of course this is FA card. What am I talking about here? Golly, let's go on the next one. We gotta stop listening to Nova. He doesn't know nothing about what he's talking about. Flux Ochenfeld. Flux Capacitor is a level 7 Earth Rock Fusion monster. 2600 attack, 2000 defense, requires a level 5 or higher Earth monster and a Rock monster. If this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon a Rock monster from your hand or graveyard, accept a copy of this card. Well, gee, I wonder how we'll get a Rock monster. into the graveyard to summon. That would be wild. Not yet, Shipping Archfiend. We'll get to you. You Fujoshi. Quick effect. You can target one earth monster you control and one card your opponent controls and return them to the hand. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn and cannot activate more than one in the same chain. Seems pretty reasonable. Though this sadly means... yeah. You can't fusion summon this, put the summoning effect on the chain, your opponent goes imperm, and then you go, I will bounce it. Because it stops that. Pretty solid card, though. Good Magnet Warrior card. Gets his cards back into rotation. Recycles them to make use of them again later. Pretty good. Okay, Shipping Archfiend. What in the world do you do? Level 3 Wind Fiend Tuner monster. 0 attack and defense. You can target any number of face-up monsters on the field and declare one type or attribute. They become that type or attribute. Any number of them. Okay. If any number of monsters are special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your monster zone, you can target one monster on each field with the same type and attribute from each other and return them to the hand. So that they can have some alone time. That's awesome. That is... notably, it's important that I believe these last forever. And the trigger on this one does not have to target a monster that was summoned. The monster that triggered this. So you can summon this out, declare the type or attribute across your monsters and your opponent's monsters, make them like sea serpents or something. And then when your opponent special summons, be all like, bounce, get out of here. Shoot, you can make Shipping Archfiend that type or attribute so that you can get them off the field so they don't get punted for having 0 attack or defense. Food for thought. Stormbane Dragon. Destorbim. Look at that Chimera Dragon looking son of a gun. Was that a dragon, a lion, an eagle? Folks, we're cooking here. Level 11 Dark Dragon Synchro Monster, 3000 attack, 2000 defense, requires generic material. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. She's pretty good. You can use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. You can banish any number of dark monsters from your graveyard that cannot be normal summoned or set. Banish that many cards your opponent controls. This is a quick effect if your opponent controls more cards than you do. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one of your banished dragon monsters. Oh. So, the fun thing about this card is that monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set is implied on all of your extra deck monsters. If it starts in the extra deck, it has that text, or rather, because the game knows that it can never be in a place where it can be normal summoned or set, it can't be normal summoned or set. So, this is another... and I think I saw RJ posting about this. I didn't read the effect, but I'm pulling up with... or not pulling up, but I remember they posted and said that this was like good RDA tech, and I can't disagree. It's not as big as some of their more profound boss monsters, but it's got targeting protection, it's got removal, and when it is sent to the graveyard by anything, you get back one of your banished dragon monsters. Like, that seems really, really good. So good for them. Hell yeah. And then lastly, we have the Tistina support here. We talked about Reign of Frogs earlier. I couldn't place what it was for outside of Frogs, but yes, also very big Tistina support because they're all Aquas. Mercurium, the Living Quicksilver, we've already gone over because it was spoiled previously, but I haven't seen Big Giant Frog. Big Naruto Frog is a level 10 light aqua monster with 2000 attack and 2100 defense. If a level 10 monster is sent to the graveyard, if any number of them are sent to the graveyard except a copy of this card, and except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when the monster was sent, or hand even if not in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can target one level 10 monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field, then draw a card. Now, I'm remembering, this is for Testina. This is not for trains, which are also level 10. This is not for frogs, even though it looks like a frog. This is for Testina. And giving them a monster, if I remember correctly, you'll have to forgive me for not remembering how Testinas work, because Testinas are... I assume that's very helpful for them. Well, glad to see they're getting something. The more support they can get, the better to dig themselves out of the War Rock hole. Thumbs up for them. Okay, I'm going to give it a wrap here. This was a terrible idea. I don't know why I do this to myself, except for the fact that I love pumpkin orbs. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. What are the combos? What are your brewing up? What are all kinds of things that you want to do with the cards that have been revealed? And until I see you in YCS Richmond, I hope you have a great day. I can't wait to play some Yu-Gi-Oh with you. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and save 5% on your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout while helping out the channel. It was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders, Upstairs Media, and the Critic of Innocence, Nebula Navigators, 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Ancient Wizard, Andrew Newman, Battle Axe, Beastsman, Charlie Mercury, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade, Eric, Frankie, Green Knight, Great Big Pillock, Groog, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Marion James C. Picata, Meme King, Muse Clark, Neon Yami Nair, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Pat Boos, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, Red Tail, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sonic 21 Blast, That One Dumbass and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders Anthrak, A Random Pup, Blaze Rider, Blitzwolf, Brandon Guzman, Chaz Ghost, Christopher Fuss, again, Cool Trainer Dark, Dr. Entity, RIP, Eki Bullock, Edelweiss EN, Eva Padilla, Herbal D, Inblink, J.A. Flair, Julian Marquez, Kale the Dragon, Kryptonian Blurred, Lobomaru02, Manga Pages, Millennia Asta, Mr. Machina, Natiel Lee Alexander, Nicholas Murphy, Not Al Gore, Obsidian, Rhyme Kairos, Rogue Wolf, Seraph SG, Shizuki Nijimura, Stephen Huntsman, The Legendary Raven, The Queen of Time, Tiger X2476, Tristan O'Meara, Zaldreka, Zephrath the Rock Thing, and Zentha, as well as all the lovely Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits and other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the link to my Patreon in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.